Your Posuk Vav. So look at the diagram. You have 11 toyim. That is, you can have 3 floors of 11 toyim. So the first floor you see you have 5 toyim in Tzofin, 5 toyim in Dorim, and 1 toyim in Midas. Together is 11. But you have 3 stories of that, so you have 33 toyim. Now also made in the diagram, look at the you have a pink and a blue. The pink is the Yechezkel lahechel, and the blue is the Yechezkel haTorah. And he's going to explain that the beams of the cells, in other words, the top, every one floor has top of it beams and cells to have the second floor, then the third floor. So how are the beams fastened to the wall? So it's like this. The blue means the Yechezkel lahechel. So the beam goes inside the wall, and that's how it's fastened inside the wall. Mashenkin, as opposed to the pink side of the wall, the Yechezkel lahechel, they don't bore inside they don't put it inside the wall of the Yechezkel lahechel, but there were recesses. What means the bottom floor, when from the bottom floor to the second floor went inside the wall inside the Amo, the wall of the Heichel became narrow when Amos. So on that Amo, the end of that beam rested upon. And the same thing in come to the next floor also, it rested upon another, it went up 5 Amos high. You look in the Anash.org diagram, and so rested upon, and then the wall went inside an Amma. The wall of the Heichel became narrow when Amos. The beams rested on that Amma of the Yechezkel lahechel. Mashenkin, as we said before, the Yechezkel haTorah, the blue one, it just went inside the wall. As you see in the diagram of Anash.org, you have A and B. A is a Yechezkel lahechel. We're talking from, this is the picture is sitting from Don side. So the Yechezkel lahechel will be A, and the Yechezkel haTorah will be A, and Yechezkel lahechel will be B. As you see, the green are the beams of on top of the story, when that rested the floor. So for the second story, and you see in the A side, it goes inside the wall. The green Bashenkin, and the B side, which is the Yechezkel lahechel, it rests upon the protrusion that the wall sticks out, because after every floor the wall went inside an Amos. The wall of the Heichel became narrow when Amos had one, and that's where the beams of the cells was rested upon. Okay, now we'll go to Posuk Vav, Vatzlois, Tzela El Tzela, and the cells of cell to cell, Shalosh Leshim Pa'amim 33 times. Bais Vakira Shal Bais Latzlois. They're set upon the inside of the wall of the cells. But now we're talking about the marked blue, the Yechezkel haTorah, and in the archwall, the A side of the wall. Saviv, around. Lias Achuzim, that they may hold inside. They may went inside the wall, stuck inside the wall. Bais should not be held upon the wall of the house, and that means this is the pink side of the wall that is rested upon the protrusions, which is you see in the arch wall on the B side of the wall. Rashi, Tzela El Tzela, a cell next to a cell. So Rashi says Ta El Ta, one cell next to a cell, and Ta El Ta, then you have on a cells. You have a second floor and a third floor. Next Rashi is Sholish Shleshim Pam, 33 times. So Bais Sheni Ha'ilamet Ches. In the Bais Sheni you had 38 Toim, Tezva Betzofin, Tezva Bedorim. You have Tezva 15 in Tzofin and 15 in Dorim. So if you look at the picture, the big picture of Ezra Hodder, you have you see 5 Toim, and again over here is 3 floors, so 15 on each side. So you have 5 on top of the second 5, so which makes it 15 on one side, 15 on the other side. When you had in the Midas side, you see 3 times, so 3, and 2 on top of those, so you have 38 times. Who Tzela, who Yetzia, who To. When you say Tzela, he said now it's the same thing as Yetzia and the same thing as To. I'll be going back to the Bais Shlishi. So you look at the Bais Shlishi, you say Rashi's like this. So the cells side, the Tzov and side, north and south, were arranged as follows. Each one at a time had the length of 12 amis. So totaling, 5 times 12 is 60 amis. Then you had 5 walls of each one 5. 5 is 25. 25 and 60 is 85. How do you pay? So you have together 85 amma. Then you have rach of hey amish shel amunach. You'll see later the empty space of a munach is that's going to be 5 amos. Pinasta tzadik amos, so you have you counted for 90 amma right now. Shel edach hakesel, of the length of the kesel on tzafan side, v'chein adorim, the same likewise in dorim side. Usha ma'ariv, how about in the ma'ariv side? So you have aleph agabi aleph, one on top of the other one, or shish agabein, the third one on top of that one. So you have 3 toim in ma'ariv side. What was the length of it? So he says, v'arkon al gabein chaf amma. The length was 20 amma. One on top of the other, each one 20 amma. Chaf amma kadashim, which is 20 of the Kedesh Kadashim. That's just in Tzaf Nadar, you have 20 amma. That's how the length of the toe was. Every row you have 11 toim. How do you have? So what it comes out, you have 11. The Yechezkel also is Matargim translated 11 every row. Now we go into parentheses. Svar Machedim, Lamed Gimel Pa'amim, you have 33 times, that means 33 toim. Gimel Pa'amim, Yudalev Agaba Achados Agabein, so you have 11 on top of 11, top of 11, so you have 33. V'chein Tikim Yenison Chad Esim Sedura, you have 11 in a Seder in a row. By Yesheni Chulu Adu Tov. Okay, so that's the parentheses. Now Rashi says over here you had 5 walls, and each toe was 12 amma, and you had 5 rows, each one of 5 amma. So Tzuras Bais has a starke shail over it. Okay, we'll say the Tzuras Bais and Rashi. So Tzuras Bais from the Santov, he says in Yitov Cheshbeinei, Rashi made a mistake in his cheshbon in accounting. Unlike what Rashi says, 5 toim with 5 solim, 5 toim actually 6 solim. You look at the picture, the picture we see 6 walls, and under 5 toim you have 6 walls. And should we say that the kesel achitzin doesn't need a wall? That means the one next to the munach and the mizrach side doesn't need a wall. Or maybe the wall next to the last wall next to the Kesel Hator, next to the Kedesh Kadashim, the Ma'ariv side doesn't need a wall. Because the Kesel Chatz Hamarovi, the Kesel of the Chatz Chetzena, was used for this wall too. Not only this is only it's only nevuah. How does he know this? It's outside the svara, regular svara, every understanding, regular logic. Whether it's Torah chitzin, which is next to the munach, the wall next to the munach on the mizrach side, the amal shom kesel. Why shouldn't it be a kesel over here? Adrabah. To the contrary, it's a shmira is gira yesem lifnim menu. He needs more shmira, needs more guarding than the ones in front of it. And if you say the kesel of the chatz hachitzena was also the kesel of this term, if you'll say that, it'll be very difficult to understand this. There's no place, empty space to walk between the kir and the wall of the Tamaravi, the kir chatz to the kir of the chatz hachitzena. Then if that's the way, you can't go behind the hechel, behind the bechotze klal. It's a mamish hadeichik this. very hard to conceive that way. To have two walls together, attached one to each other, is also a dovazor. So the Bais continues the Bais Sheni Yud Aleph Amo, but in Bais Sheni we know there's 11 Amo. Mashem Kesel Amaravi Kesh Kadashim the Kesel Lachotzer. There was 11 Amo Kesel Amaravi Kesh Kadashim to the Kesel Achotzer. I have a picture. You see the picture of the Tzuras of the Ezohodor. So you have behind the Cheder B'Yisrael Kapedis, you see 11 Amo over there. The Eida Vaybre Simon will come, as the Tzuras Rabbi says, he'll explain later, and Bais Dalad Yud. He'll say over there, Hamikdash, Yeshagam Bais Zeh, Yimwakim Ponu, also in the Bais Shlishi, in this Bais will be an empty place, Ben Kira Bais, Kira Chotzer L'Mayv. So basically, so the Tzuras Rabbi, it's difficult for him to understand how can they only have 5 walls for five times. Should have really a 6th wall. Then he says, Matzas Pirish Sechta Midas, I found in Sechta Midas, which gives out the measurements of Bais Sheni, Perek Dal Bishne Gimel. It brings it up Shmaya, Talmud Rashi Zal. I mean, Shmaya was a Talmud of Rashi, and he writes like this: Zel Sheni. We know the width of the Torah. The Mishnah says clearly the width of the Torah was 6 amos in the Bais Sheni. Ator Sheish. It says clearly in the Mishnah Torah 6 amos. Allah-arke litin b'shir. How was the length? Remember, according to Rabbi Nachman Rashi, there were 5 toim and softens as we see in the Bais Shlishi over here. Loi b'mishnah big mikra, but the length doesn't. There's no shear. The Mishnah doesn't give not the Posuk, not the Mishnah gives a shear. How much the length of each toy is? According to the Cheshbon of the Navi, he says he has to give Tezain Amo ben Erechato Kesli. 16 Amo to the Erech Amo Kesli. What does that mean? If 15 Amo, so we know 11 Amo is every Torah, and 5 Amo for the wall. So 16 Amos. You have basically 11 Amo and 5 Amo according to. In the Mikra you have 33 Toim. And we know the wall is 5. So what's left of the wall of the toy is always 5. So what's left for the toy itself? 11. 11 and 5 is 16. You have 33 Toim, one give for the Maider side on the Nekal Bais and the width on the whole Bais. And 5 for 33 times, so 1 is the Maider side, and 5 Dorim, 5 Tzofin. So you have 10, and plus the 5 for the Tzofin, 5 for the Dorim, and 1 for the Maider, so 11, 3 rows, you have 33. Vienis and Kartigim, and Yenis and also is mataging this way. Chad Esher B'Saduri, 11, and this in a row, you have 11 toim. Yidalov, Chol B'Zeh, Agavizeh, you have 11 toim, and 11 amos the cholol of every Torah, one on top of the other one. Kachagi Rabbi, and that's how Rabbi goes to the Cheder, the Rabbi of Rabbi Nishmai, which is Rashi, Akan L'Sheni. Hadi Shirashi, Zalba Atzmei, come down, Rashi himself, Igia Dvorev Shabakani, is Magia, the Dvorev, according to this, you have 5 times Yudvov, 16. Hushmein Mama, 5 times 16 is 80 Amma. That's for 5 time or 5 walls. Then you have 5 for the empty space. So it's going to be for the Munach. And you have 5 for the Kesel Shlishi. So you have 6 walls for the 5 time. The final scholar Tishum Amma Beis Chalif is to account for all the 90 Amma for the up to Beis Chalif, and Beis Chalif we'll learn soon is going to be 10 Amma, so it's going to be together 100. Come Pirish Rashi, we are kon Kufam Kin Tzorach Leimbat. So that's the Tzuras Bais and explains it this way, and we'll go right now to the Tzuras David. Okay, Tzuras David. It seems just like Rabbi Nishmaya said, and so I worded down from Tzuras Bais. So we'll see to the David Shalosh Shleshim Pamim inside. That's a lema. He wants to say a mispat slois. The count of the cells in the skaplu long the palm is multiplied 30 times, and you have 33 slois. Mispat hoyu. It was this count of 33 toim. Kibamayr hoya achas. And the Maider side you have 1 on top, another 1 on top, so you have 3. and is filled up the whole space of the width of the 20 amma of the Hechel. But how about on the Darm side? Is Chamisha Agabo, it was 5 in a row, and then on top of another 5, so you have 15, 30, so you have 33. Now, Yechezkel Echad says clearly the length of every Torah, if we go to Mizrach Ma'ariv, was Yud Aleph Amis, just like the Bein Shmai said, 11 Amah. Chamisha Nun Hey, so you have 5 times 11, it's 55 Amis, linear Amis. Now you have 6 walls, each one is 5 amas. You have together 85 amas. And from the Kesel Tamaravi, from the Maidva side, the wall of the Toad, until the Beis Chalifa, you have 90 amas. You teach around 90 amas. Nishim Kechamisha Amis Makamponi. Then you have a 5 amas called a Munach. You look in the picture, you have a 5 amas Munach. When you can be in a Munach, yes, Hadvari Vor, we couldn't just be in a Bais, and the rest of what's going on is explained in Kunz bin Bais, which I don't have in front of me, and I didn't see it, but apparently, since David wrote a Kunz Bais, explaining the whole Bais Shlishi. Now I'm going to go to Rashi, Bais, Baki, Ashla Bais, that's Lois. Now we're talking about, in the picture, the blue, which is the Kesel Ator. See, the Torah had 2 walls, one the Kesel Hechel and one Kesel Ator. Now we're talking about the blue. And in the Art.org picture will be the A. So, he says, Kedes Aliyah Zayitzim, the beams of the cells of the top story, the ends were, the ends were in the outer wall, which is the blue, or the A on the picture of the art scroll. So, Bais v'next b'kir b'tzidei apnime, it went inside and punctured the wall inside. V'zeu shel habayis latzlois, that's the meaning of the inside of the wall. B'tzidei shel hatoim, to the side that was towards the interior of the wall, of the cells. And this is what it means, the being should be held tight in the wall. Should be fastened securely. Next Rashi, now we're talking about in the diagram that's marked with pink, it's a Kesel Hechel. Also on the art scroll, it's going to be the B wall, Kesel Hechel, and you see the green, the top of the beams are not boring inside the wall, it's going on top of protrusions that the wall's getting narrower and on top of the first floor and same on the second floor. So we'll say the Rashi right now. The ends of the side of the kir of the Hechel, which is the pink side. Are your boys for Nekris Aknises, the one inside, and on the protrusion Kira Hechel Bela Techatoim, because we know the kir of the Hechel protruded inside the Toim on the second floor, because the wall of the Hechel became narrower after the first floor, 1 amma, so you had 1 amma sticking out, and that the ends rested upon. And likewise, you have Bina Shlema, you also have 3 floors of Toim over there, and it says, Kemigrois, Naslan Bais, Saviv Chutza. It says they had rebatements. I mean, it's basically the going in the wall going in after the first floor and after the second floor. So you had the extra amma for that, the ends of the beams to rest upon. And it says like this in the Malachim, the Bais Sishnim of Shlema. The first floor was 5 amas, the interior, the space. Baliyasa Sheish, and the second floor on top of that was 6 amas. Shoykes la Hechel Kanu Somayla Amma. As we said, the wall of the Hechel went inside an amma, we him narrow 1 amma, so in other words, the second floor you had the amma protruding, and that's where the beams are rested upon. Therefore, the space interior of the second floor was 6 amas the width. And the third floor you had again 7 amas, because again the space of the third floor of 7 amas. That was the aliyah, the top of the second floor. Because we said before, the heichel went inside 1 amma. So the Rashi says, also these the Bais can make them just the same way. This is the Posuk says in our Posuk, lo yachuzim bikira Bais, that they didn't, it wasn't held in the kira Bais. Made a hole in the kira Bais. He says, it didn't have to make a hole in the wall of the heichel. Kishara shakedis. The muchim, as you have regular buildings, they have the ends of the kedis of the beams, which is low, akvim kesel gevei, which goes into a high wall. Shanek from akesel, which over there you have to make a hole in the high wall. You have to make a hole for the kedis, the beams to go inside. For take him, kedis from the cover, and you stick in the ends of the kedis into the holes.